Emotional reconstruction for cancer patients. What is emotional reconstruction for cancer patients? Let me share some thoughts with you on that very subject. Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Jay Harness, and it's a real privilege to join you through this video. I'm a really blessed guy to have several thousand friends, patients, medical colleagues, not only here in the United States, but around the world. I've been in practice for 44 years, and I've been focused in the world of breast cancer for the last 34 years. Now think about it for a second. Once some patient is given a diagnosis of cancer, what are the kind of thoughts that are going through their mind? Well, many of them are very emotional thoughts. Am I going to survive? Do I need surgery? Oh my word, do I need radiation therapy? Do I need chemotherapy? Am I going to lose my hair? Am I going to be deformed? Am I going to be here for my family? Am I going to be able to work? There's just a multitude and a flood of things that go on in our newly diagnosed cancer patients. And these reactions, as you can imagine, are quite normal. It's really overwhelming, emotionally overwhelming, and almost physically overwhelming when you're given a diagnosis of cancer, no matter where that cancer is. My particular focus over the past 34 years has been on breast cancer. And many of my newly diagnosed patients come in sort of like the deer in the headlights, overwhelmed with fear. So that one of my major roles at that initial consultation and visit with a newly diagnosed patient is to begin to embrace that fear, to take it into myself, let the patients know that I'm not fearful, and to begin the process, if you will, of emotional reconstruction. When we think about it, the treatment of almost all cancers is a journey. It begins with the patient's symptoms, or it may begin through screening. It then goes on to some form of biopsy. And then ultimately, we're talking about typically several specialists involved in the patient's treatments. Part of that treatment may be surgery. Part of that treatment may involve a medical oncologist with, in my world, anti-hormonal therapy or chemotherapy or targeted therapies. May then involve radiation therapy, or if a patient has a mastectomy, would involve reconstruction if they choose to go that way. So our patients are scared to death, and the process that I think is important for us as surgeons, as the typical often first contact, is to embrace that patient, outline for them what the journey is going to be like, and to help take that fear away from the patients. That then begins a process of emotional reconstruction. And we have to continue to reinforce that process literally at every step along the way, because every step along the way is potentially really scary. And that means that my medical oncology colleagues need to do this. My radiation therapy colleagues need to do this. My plastic surgeon colleagues, my physical therapy colleagues, all of us who are involved with this journey for our patients who are newly diagnosed with cancer need to be involved with their process of emotional reconstruction. Now, once our patients run the gauntlet, if you will, of all the different aspects of their treatment, they come out the other side of this wondering, now what? And that ends up leading the patient, of course, into the whole arena of long-term survival. You know, I had one of my really bright patients, a really dynamic lady, say to me recently, you know, Dr. Harness, there isn't a day that goes by, even though I'm 5 years out from my diagnosis, that I don't think about my cancer and the potential of it coming back. So that this whole process of emotional reconstruction is a continuous process, if you will. I have to share with you that coming up with the term emotional reconstruction did not originate with me. It originated with my very dear friend and former neighbor and branding expert, Mr. Steve Cranford. Steve's a leading expert in branding. He did me the favor of coming in and looking at my practice, interviewing my patients, and Steve was the one who coined the term emotional reconstruction. And when he did, I almost fell over because he really crystallized for me the importance of that concept. As we think about the physical therapy reconstruction of our patients and all of the aspects of wellness, living heart healthy, everything we can think of when it comes to long-term survival, built into that all the way along the way is never forgetting that the patients are constantly, well, maybe not constantly, but frequently worried about their cancer. Is it going to come back? And reinforcing them with positive thoughts and positive aspects along the way. A couple years ago, I had the privilege of putting out a book. Let's see if I can get it into the camera here. It's called the Breast Cancer Answers book. And if you notice at the bottom, it says, Your Guide to Achieving Emotional Reconstruction. To the best of my knowledge, this is the only book ever put together or written by both a physician and a long-term survivor of cancer, in this case, breast cancer. The book has been warmly received and highly rated by multiple people, and of course it's available out over the internet at your favorite location. But in this book, what we're really talking about is not only the importance of the journey, but this whole aspect of emotional reconstruction at every step along the way. I've thanked Steve Cranford multiple times for his coining this expression, emotional reconstruction. Steve runs a fabulous branding firm called Whisper Globally out of New York City. So once again, Steve, I want to express my appreciation for your coining of this expression. This video, I hope, will begin a series of videos that I want to share at our website, breastcanceranswers.com. I also want to be sharing these videos out over my personal Facebook page and also over LinkedIn. And as I share these kind of videos, hopefully I will be getting feedback from everybody. I want to again thank you for the privilege of this opportunity to share with you what I think is really an important concept. Of all the things that we do for our patients, we cannot forget how really, really important their emotions are and how important they are to the healing process as we all proceed along together. I'm Dr. Jay Harness, and as always, I'm wishing you the very best.